Welcome to Hand Forged, the podcast where real tradespeople share their real stories. Here at Hand Forged, we're dedicated to bringing attention to the trades, fostering a community of blue-collar professionals, and offering support through shared experiences and insights. Each episode will dive deep into journeys, challenges, and successes of our guests. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out in the trades, you'll find valuable tips, inspiring stories, and practical advice to help you navigate and thrive in your career. So grab your tools and get ready to be inspired. This is Hand Forged. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hand Forged. We are here with Mama Michelli with 8 Waves Creative. 8 Waves Creative does a lot of our SEO stuff. They manage our website. They do a lot of digital marketing, social media stuff, whole bunch of cool stuff. And I've been trying to get Michelli on for a little bit. I'm glad that you came on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and a little bit about 8 Waves?
Okay. So my name is Michelle Miakos. Everybody calls me Michelli. That's why Frank just called me Michelli.
Mama Michelli.
Mama Michelli. Everybody knows me.
She's like the mom of the group.
Yeah. And so 8 Waves Creative, we're a full-service marketing agency in Amesbury. We love to, service all kinds of industries. We can help anyone from, we can help you as small as you want to as large as you want. So it might be a logo, a website, take you to the Grammys. Yeah. All in between.
And really take you to the Grammys because you actually took somebody to the Grammys.
We actually did. Yeah, that was very, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was that again?
Cacao.
Oh, the chocolate company,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I was trying not to be too starstruck.
Yeah.
But when I'd say, hi, I'm Michelle, they said, hey, I'm Smokey Robinson. Oh, okay. Or Ice-T or Flavor Flav or whoever it was.
That's so cool.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah. So, we really, help you define what you really need so we can put together a strategic marketing plan for you. We can help you build your company, slowly. It depends on your budget. Mm-hmm. So, we want to help you to succeed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and any job, whether it's too small or too big, you guys kind of do everything.
Right. One of the things I always say too is, what's the first thing somebody does when they hear about your company? They Google you.
Google it. Yeah.
So you want to have a nice looking website. It doesn't have to be crazy, with a 1,000 pages, but it has to have the right content on it. And it has to be user friendly, be able to find what they need right away.
At Seacoast Cabinet, Raleigh, Mass., we offer a full range of services from design to installation, tailored to residential and commercial applications. We carry 3 lines of American-made cabinetry to fit any budget, ensuring that you get the best quality and value. For more information or a free quote and design, head to seacoastcabinetne.com. Everybody always kind of mentions because my showroom is on Route 1 in Raleigh.
Right.
And we're right on the main drag. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't care if I was off of that road and down a little side road in a little park somewhere, because I feel like digital store frontage is a lot more important than Main Street store frontage at this point, because we have people stop in all the time and be like, I've lived in Raleigh my whole life. I didn't even know you guys were here.
Right.
Everybody's so distracted when they're driving.
Right.
Nobody drives around and looks for businesses in their town anymore. You know what I mean? Everybody just hops on Google.
Right. And, depending on the industry, and especially with the trades, social media, is really big. Being able to, we can help you with any of your social medias, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, LinkedIn, whatever it is. Now, LinkedIn is more, for your professional things. If you want to do some targeted ads in Facebook, let's say, and you can target a specific demographic, and it can, in a geographic area, whatever it might be, where they're looking for a plumber, I'm looking for, electrician, whatever it might be. Yep. And then you can really, hone in on that same thing, with your pay-per-click.
Right.
And then your SEO always helps you.
Yeah.
So Google, you want to be Google's friend.
Yeah,
and
for
you
sure.
need to be everywhere.
Yeah, you have to
Pretty
be.
much, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like, word of mouth is, I think, what everybody's after, right? Most of the builders that I work with or contractors, the most successful ones that I work with, get most of their work from word of mouth.
Yeah.
Neighbors and friends and people speaking highly of them. And that's what everybody is after. Everybody wants to be the person that people want to work with.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I feel like that only gets you so far for so long. And not having a presence online, I think, is
just not a great way to do things, especially moving forward. I feel like in the next 10 years, it's going to be even more so.
Yeah, and you want to be in groups,
Yeah.
so where nice neighbors, Newburyport, or those types of things,
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you're in those different groups.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys helped us you made the introduction to Mike Lemelin when we did the Comcast commercial.
Right. So we help companies, with several of our clients, a lot of them mostly in trades,
Yeah.
do TV commercials
Yeah.
on Comcast. So when I had mine, it was very, very cool because, there was a Bruins game, a Progressive commercial, and then my commercial.
Yeah.
And it looks like it goes national,
Yeah.
but what you're doing is you're picking a specific zone.
Yep.
So it was just Haverhill and Andover that were seeing it at that time.
Yep.
So it really helps your budget. So we work with you to make sure that we're targeting to the right place within your budget.
What I found was funny about doing the Comcast thing was the menu of people I could pick from. It was like, because it's crazy with Comcast, you and your neighbor aren't seeing the same commercials.
Right.
Like, because people are targeting like different things,
exactly.
different demographics, different price ranges, different, all these different things. So like, I remember when we did it, I forget how long we ran it for. I think it was like 3 months or something. It was a 3 or 6. And like, it was cool. Like, I remember Mike called me and he was like, hey, we have a space like in the Celtics game today. Yeah. Like, you want to do that? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Right. Why would I not want to do that?
I know when Rick did his, he walked into a bar and he saw his commercial up on the screen. He said that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool getting phone calls like, dude, I just saw your commercial on TV. I'm like, yeah, I'm a big shot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But it is, for the trades, it really is something valuable.
Yeah.
Because you have to see, a company many, many times before it registers.
Yeah.
So being able to see on social, on TV, in some certain ads like, North Shore Homes or something like that.
Yeah.
Those are always really good.
Yeah, I feel like with the Comcast commercial, it's good for like brand awareness, making sure people remember your name, kind of see the logo and that type
branding.
of stuff. Yeah. And you can't track the people that are calling you from a Comcast commercial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like a Google ad or like a Facebook ad, like where you can actually track that stuff.
Yeah, they do give you the stats.
Yeah.
Like how many people hit your website within a certain time frame of the commercial.
Yeah.
So you get that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right. So how did you get into this? Like what led up to you starting 8 Waves?
To this? Okay, well, let's go back, I guess. So originally I was, excuse me, losing my voice here. I was working at Los Alamos National Labs. I was working in the nuclear facilities. That's why I have that glowing personality, that's what I always say. And so then I was looking for something else. And this woman that I work with, she said, oh, there's this French company that's doing a demo.
Wait, what the hell were you doing with nuclear labs again? Can you talk about it?
I'll have to kill you. I can't talk about it.
Well, I'm going to die today, guys, because I got to know.
Anyway,
no, I'm joking.
So anyway, I went to this demo. I really loved the software. They had an office in Waltham, and I was in New Mexico. And I told them, well, if your software does what I think it would do, I'd consider working for you. And 2 weeks later, I was the GM. So there you go. You got to get out there, guys. You got to get out there. And so then from there, I think I ran North and Latin American operations. I was country manager for that. I did global business development, partner channel management for them for many, many years. And I was the only woman of 16 country managers and not making anything near they were making. And my country was, my territory was North and Latin America.
Right.
And
so all the men were making more money than you.
Yes. Huh. And they would, complain about traveling, and I'd say, your Italy is my Massachusetts. Your Paris is my California, or your France is my California,
right.
So anyway, long story short, I decided I'm done. And 16 years ago, I started 8 Waves. And so what I would recommend, because I always love to mentor people, and happy to work with anybody to give them some advice on what to do and what not to do, when you're starting a business, is make sure you're funded so you don't have to be self-funded. Yeah. And you've got a plan. I had a plan. I just didn't really, make sure I had the other. But 16 years, we're still here, growing strong. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a lot of people that have started a business with funding. I feel like the only people that I know that have started a business with funding are people that already started a business that didn't succeed and then learned their lesson and got funding and started a new one. You know?
But if you can.
But if you can,
if
right?
you can.
Well, but it's harder.
And have a plan.
It's harder to have them. It's harder to get money from someone on a business that hasn't been operating yet. You know, it's like it's a little bit more difficult to do that. I feel like if you have a little bit of skin in the game and, you know, something on your resume as far as running a business and building a business, then it's easier to get funding and kind of get the money. But with startups, it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. And we work with a lot of startups, you know, and like I said, we just help you gradually grow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. What is your favorite part about what you do?
I love business development.
Yeah.
That's my jam. I love that. You know, helping companies figure out how they can get into different industries or, you know, create a new, you know, revenue stream from what they do. And that to me is like a really cool thing. I love everything we do, obviously. But,
right. So that is a service that you guys provide, business development?
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. And, you know, I think it's really important for people to have, from the marketing perspective, have a strategic marketing plan. I can help them with the business development plan, but also from, you know, the strategic marketing plan, because from that, you know, you can really measure how you're, you know, you're improving. You can, you know, lay out what needs to be done. You know, when we have a website project, for instance, you know, Sharon's great project manager, you know, and she's on everybody, you know, and one of the things that you struggle with a lot in this kind of business is with communication, getting that information from the client, you know, having them review. Everybody's busy. Yeah. It's hard to get all that information, and you don't want it to like drag out to, you know, where they're saying, well, it's taken so long to get my website. Well, give me your information.
Give me the answers we need, right?
Yeah. You know, and then Joe's great, you know, with the pay-per-click and the SEO and all the analytics, you know, and, you know, we just got a really, really good team. We got a good development team, you know, we're just a good, solid team.
How many employees?
We have 4 full-time employees,
So I know it's you, Joe, Sharon,
Nikki.
And Nikki. Who's Nikki?
And we have our office manager.
Oh, I don't think I've met her.
Oh.
Maybe I have.
She sends you bills.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, that's why. It's usually the person I get the bills from that I don't hear from, that I don't know. Yeah. You know.
Another thing that's really important to us is, you know, being really involved with the community and paying it forward. Yeah,
you do a lot of that.
Yeah, I love it. It's a little too much.
I just saw the presentation, all the stuff that you did for the gala coming up, so I can imagine it's a little much.
But I love it and I hate it because it's, you know, where do I have the time? But, you know, you've got to give it back. Yeah. And, you know, when you see, like with the Wish Project, and we help 60,000 families, and you're like, wow, you know, that's amazing, you know, and it's good for your soul, I think, you know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do the same thing.
I know you do.
I'm board chair for a nonprofit, so
I'm going to it next week.
Yeah, next week we have our annual fundraiser, which should be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think giving back is super important, and whether it's, you know, giving back to other businesses and like helping other people grow, like, you know, helping other businesses grow, like we're doing right now with the podcast, or, you know, giving back to the youth and stuff. I think that, you know, it's easy to be greedy, and it's easy to be selfish as a business owner and stuff, and like, you know, just kind of put all your eggs in one basket and grow the business. But I feel like you have to make time to just give back to, you know, what has been given to you. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the guy that started me in furniture. You know, so it's like I owe a debt. I owe a debt to the trades. I owe a debt to kind of everything that I've experienced, and you know, I pay back that debt every day. Yeah.
And my brothers, as I told you before, you know, they were, you know, big in the trades. They built big retail stores across the country. Both of them have passed. So it's my mission to help the trades.
Yeah, I love that.
So, you know, that's honoring my brothers.
Yeah, I love that. That's cool.
Big for me, yeah.
So what, as far as the business and stuff goes, I mean, how are you comfortable with the 4 employees? Are you thinking about growing? Do you want to grow?
You know, we're always growing. We have subcontractors too that we work with, you know, of course, but just depends on the projects, you know, what we need. But, you know, there's always room for growth, and, you know, everybody wants to grow their business. Yeah. You just want to make sure that you're growing where you can provide the quality of service to the clients. Yeah. That's what we always want to manage.
Yeah, it's easy to grow too fast and kind of overlook some things that you shouldn't be overlooking.
Yeah, and one thing I think that happens too is that people, when they first get their first clients, they're their best friends, and they're always contacting them and everything. And then, time passes, they start getting more clients and bigger clients, and they kind of forget about them.
Yeah.
Never forget about them.
Yeah.
Never. Always remember them, write them a note here and there. It might sound silly, but they remember you.
Yeah.
And that's what's important, because you need to remember them.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones who helped you build your business.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I wish that, I feel like sometimes I feel like we don't do enough as far as that goes in business. Like just as far, because, we do kitchens, and like you get the kitchen's done, customer's happy.
Right.
And then, sometimes we just never really hear from them or touch base again or something. But I mean, a lot of our builders and stuff, like my buddy Mark Collier, like I'm always in touch with him, and like he came to my 40th birthday. Like, we've been friends for a long time. We do a lot of business together, and I think that I've been able to add some value to his company, and vice versa. He's been able to add some value to ours. Right. But we keep that relationship, So I still have a few of those, but I guess there's always room for improvement. Everybody wishes they could do more.
Yeah. Well, and one thing about reaching back to those clients is they might not need something like in your instance, but they might have a friend.
Right.
And now that they remembered you,
yeah,
they're like, oh yeah, well, I have a friend who's redoing their kitchen or something like that. So it does help to, touch back with them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for a while we were sending like cutting boards and wine glasses to some of our bigger clients and stuff. But again, you get so busy. It's like design after design after design. And then 3 months goes by and it's like, oh shit, I can't send them something now.
Well, and just a phone call.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be anything big.
Yeah, it's true.
But just a phone call, So that's what I try to do is every day. It doesn't have to be anything big, but just make sure I do one thing, for a different client. It can be a card that I write them, staying in touch, an email, something.
Yeah.
But just touch points.
Yeah. You're thoughtful like that. You're good with that stuff.
I don't know. I'm a legend in my own mind. It's really cool up there. I like to go there sometimes.
So as far as the business goes, like, I mean, do you have projected goals for like the next 1, 3, 5, 10 years?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm, much older than you, my friend. So, my exit strategy is already in place.
Is it?
So, yeah. So I'm on my 5-year plan. So
5 years, huh? 5 years and then you're exiting?
Yeah.
No shit. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm sure I'll keep busy.
I was going to say, what the hell? Like, if you retire, you're going to be not busy for a day, maybe 24 hours of throwing your feet up. And then you're going to be like, I got to do something.
I know it. But that's okay. There's lots of things I can do.
Yeah.
I just,
do you have a plan
of what I want to do yet?
Yeah. Like what you want to do when you're done?
No.
No? So you're going into it with no plan?
No, not yet. But I do kind of have a plan.
Sit on a beach somewhere with a nice umbrella drink?
No, that's not me.
No, I didn't think so.
That's not me, yeah. But I have all my charities that I work with.
Yeah. You going to stick with that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And, I have the skill to help them, with the graphics, with all the, design work, with all, connecting them with I have a pretty big network.
Yeah.
And so when I started the company, we were UCSA International initially, and then we have a DBA Waves. And our tagline was, we network our network. So, that's just having that big network is really good.
Yeah. So you're just going to do that for fun?
Oh, yeah.
Not make any money? No revenue stream?
No revenue stream. Well, I'll probably do a little bit something. A little something.
That's funny.
Yeah.
How's everything going with that the Kona project?
It's going. Yeah. We started. You were the one who introduced us. So originally with that. Thank you. And it's going good. Actually, they're coming to the gala.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
So you'll see
That's
them
cool.
on Friday. Yeah. And they've done a lot of renovations.
Yeah.
And they're really working on trying to really, focus on what they need to get done. So I think it's going to be a great project.
Yeah, so that, I guess for anybody that doesn't understand or doesn't know about the project, Kona Mansion, it's in Moultonboro, New Hampshire. So it's like this big mansion that this couple, like husband and wife, right?
They're fiance. Yeah, they're engaged.
Okay, so they're engaged. So the couple, they bought this mansion and it came with some properties and stuff. And we did a kitchen for one of the houses that was down on the water. But they're turning, the mansion has like a 9-hole golf course or something like that.
Yeah.
So they're turning that into like a venue.
Yeah, it's 82 acres, and it's going to be a destination venue.
Yeah.
So for weddings, work retreats, family reunions, all kinds of things. But, I think mostly kind of focused on weddings.
Yeah. Yeah, so one of my contractor buddies brought us in to do the kitchen, and then they had asked me, I forget how it happened, but I ended up making the introduction to you.
To Leanne.
To Leanne, because Leanne does short-term rentals.
Yep.
So yeah, I made the introduction to Leanne, and then Leanne made the introduction to Michelle, and then just kind of spiraled, and now everybody's working up there.
It's a networking.
That's how the networking thing works. But yeah, it's such a cool project. That mansion, I took a ride up after I delivered some cabinets a couple weeks back, just to like kind of check out the mansion and stuff. It's so cool. It's up on top of this hill. It's right on Winnipesaukee.
Yeah.
At the golf course, they have like just a cool spot.
Yeah. When I went up there the very first time, they were like tearing up a bunch of stuff. And I went upstairs, and there was like because it's an old mansion, as you know. Yeah. And there was this long hall, and I was just waiting for it. I was crossing myself.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Maybe someday when I get married, that's where I'll get married.
Oh, you should
play some golf and get married up there. Maybe I'll get a discount because I did the kitchen.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably not, but.
No, you never know. But yeah, no, it'll be very, very. They're going to get married there.
Yeah. Actually. Oh, they are.
Yeah. Well,
sweet.
Obviously, they should. Yeah.
So, what are you doing for them?
So we're working on their website.
Yep.
I put together their strategic marketing plan for them. We did their logo, their brand style guide for them. So it's getting them ready to get going.
That's cool. So when will you be done with that stuff? Like, are they already trying to rent that place out?
They're looking at but they still have a few things they need to
Gotta get done.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's cool. I feel like they know what they're doing as far as like development and like building and all that type of stuff, but I felt like they didn't really know what to do as far as getting that place like booked.
Yeah. So we've got Leanne for the booking. We got Pat for the wedding planner.
Yep.
And then me for the marketing.
Yeah.
So she calls us the dream team.
The dream team.
The Kona dream team.
I love it.
Yeah.
Cool. So as far as business for you, what is some of the struggles that you guys have? Like, what is the hardest part of your day in running your business?
Well, like I said, the communication.
Trying to get answers.
Yeah. They're trying to get answers and just, making sure that we're continuously improving our processes. We just had a meeting about that last week, actually, of, taking a look at all of our processes, because I think it's just, as things change and, just different systems and everything else.
Well, especially in the technology world, I feel like it changes so fast.
Right. So you just need to always be, improving. So that's one of the things.
So getting answers from people is top for you.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah.
What else? What else, like business-wise, is like difficult?
Just trying to think of what else. That was the one thing that popped out. I guess time.
Yeah.
You just always want to have time to be able to dedicate to each thing. So just making sure we have that.
Yep.
So that's always a struggle, but I think that's a struggle for everybody. I don't think that's industry specific. You know what I mean?
I wish it was more than 24 hours in a day sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's with every business.
Mm-hmm.
As far as trades and stuff, I know that you've worked with a bunch of different trades. What do you see as the biggest struggle for trades as far as, I guess their digital footprint? And, what is like that kind of key ingredient that you would tell a trades guy that like they should do in order to kind of get their name out there?
Well, I think one of the things is just, first of all, having a website.
Yeah.
Like I said, it can be an anchor website, which is just like a long page. And when you click on, the menu, it just takes you to that portion of the page. It doesn't have to be 12 pages long, something like that. But to have that, visibility, because that shows credibility.
Yep.
And, so that's important. I think having them do social.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that's important for the trades. And then, like with you, SEO and pay-per-click.
Yeah.
I think that's really helped
with
your company.
Yeah.
So I think those are things. But let's even step back a little bit further. If they don't even have a logo, they have to brand first.
Yep.
Let's go there.
Yeah.
But everybody comes in at a different stage though too. So you just gotta, figure out where they are and how we can help them and fill in those gaps.
What is like the average price of building a website? Like if you want a cheap as dirt website, like what is the cheapest? And then, how expensive can you get? Like, I feel like, is the sky the limit?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it depends on, you can have an e-commerce crazy site, but, it just depends on what your needs are.
Right.
So, it could be anywhere from, $3,000 to $5,000 up to $30,000.
Right.
It just depends on what you need to have done.
Right.
And we work with WordPress. So it's easy to add additional features and pages.
Yeah.
So that's always really good.
So like build kind of just a quick kind of smaller website and then add to it as you go. I feel like that's the approach that we took.
Yep.
Because we did like the first website I did with somebody else, and then you guys kind of took over the management of it, and then since then we've changed a bunch of stuff and added some tabs and kind of did some other stuff. Yeah,
and you can just change up your pictures, and we provide training too.
Yeah.
So that they can do that, or they can just say, hey, Michelle, we need to change. Blah, blah. Well, they usually tell Sharon, we need to change this, and this.
Yeah.
So then we just let them know how many hours it's going to be, and we go from there.
Do you charge hourly for that stuff?
For that? Well, it depends on if they have, we have hosting and maintenance.
Yeah.
So if it's within their maintenance, time frame, we can just, if it's something really simple, we can just get it done for them. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll, let them know, well, you want this page, you want this and this done. It might cost you this.
Yeah. What if somebody has a website that was built from somebody else and then they want to like transfer stuff over to you as far as that goes? What is the kind of criteria for that? Because there's certain websites that or certain hosts or something that you don't work with, right?
Well, we only work with WordPress.
Only WordPress. And what is WordPress?
WordPress is just a platform for the website.
Building the website.
And the reason is because when we've worked with the other ones, if something were to change, we would go in and make some changes and then they changed their theme or they did something, it would be gone. And so we just don't want to have to deal with that. So we know WordPress very well. We stick with what we know well, what we do. Yeah. And, it seems to work really well. And everything that we do for you, whether it's a logo, a brochure, your website, you own it.
Yeah.
That's one thing I always like to tell people is make sure that whatever marketing agency you're working with, that you own it at the end of the day.
Right.
Because there are some that, I've talked to some owners and they say, well, it was my creative, so I keep it. Well, they paid you for that creative, so,
Right.
Yeah, so I always ask.
Interesting. I feel like that happened with Leon. I think I made an introduction to you with Leon.
Yeah.
And I don't think he owns his website. I feel like the company that built it or whatever owns it.
Yeah.
So what happens in that case? You have to like buy it back from them?
Well, it just depends. We had one client who had 2 websites with this California agency, and they had to take them to court because they had
to get the website.
Yeah, because sometimes you want to be careful too. If marketing agent says, "I'll buy your domain and I'll get you this and this," when we do it for you, but it's your credit card, it's your stuff, you own it.
Yeah.
So that if you want to go somewhere else, if you're hosting with us and you decide you want to go. We just, help you with the transfer.
Yeah.
Some companies, they buy it, but they're buying it under themselves. Right. So now they own your domain. That's why I'm saying just be real careful.
That's fucked up.
I know.
I couldn't imagine that. Like, the website is such a big part of your business, and like, these business owners work so hard to get this thing going, and then like somebody else owns it. Like, fuck that.
It's awful.
I wouldn't be happy about that.
I know. And if you don't know, and you're just trusting them.
Right.
Like who would think that would happen? But we've had several clients that it has happened to. So.
Yeah, I feel like if I was paying somebody to build my website, I wouldn't even think that like they own it.
No,
I was just thinking like it's mine. Yeah. Like it's my business.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Or the same thing with, any kind of graphics, or whatever. We always make sure you have all the native files, you have everything you need. And everything is, if we create a logo for you, we're going to make sure that the design is going to work on your on your clothing, on your, print material, on whatever you're going to, on your website, so sometimes people say, oh, well, I want this design, it's very, very cool, but it's not going to work if you're going to, put it on your clothing. And especially, the trades, you guys always wear your brand.
Yeah.
So, on your hats, on your, your jackets, whatever it might be. So you just want to make sure that it's going to be working well.
Yeah. I feel like when we had our logos done, we had a couple of different ones done, because I have one that's like, I don't even know how to say it, like it's horizontal and like, longer and kind of skinnier. So it's good for like social media and like the website and that type of stuff. But then I also have the round one.
Yeah.
And the round one's good for like the clothing. And
but it's all within the same brand. You have to keep it consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Cool. So, I guess that covers most of that. So you're retiring in a couple of years, and then you're going to go sit on the beach and...
You can come join me.
God, I can't even think about that day.
Yeah. Well, because you're just such a puppy still.
I know. Yeah. I feel like it doesn't matter. I'm just going to work until I die.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm that way, too.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm sure I'll be still doing something.
I'm so curious as to what you're going to do. I feel like you're probably going to be more busy in retirement than...
Maybe. I have a lot of energy.
So you're going to keep 8 Waves going?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So somebody else is going to operate
Joe.
it? Yeah. Joe's going to operate it?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yep. Just joking, Joe. That's cool. So as far as trades and stuff goes, what do you think is the biggest struggle that these guys see? Just not having the website, not having the content?
Yeah, not having any branding at all.
Yeah.
There's an electrician that we know. It just is always like, I know I need to do that. I know I need to do that. But it really will help you.
What do you think is the holdup? Why do you think that someone like that doesn't want to go?
Budget, I think, sometimes, or other things,
He's an electrician. He makes plenty of money.
I know. But anyway.
He just doesn't see the importance in it?
Yeah. No, they do. I just think, I think timeline, life happens, when you get busy. I think sometimes it's more that people get busy.
Yeah.
And so it's not like the intent isn't there.
Yeah.
The intent is always there, but, it's those kinds of things, So.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why you have a company like you do it. So it just makes it easier, right? Like they don't have to come up with the logo. They don't have to come up with the color scheme or like build the web. They don't have to do any of that stuff. All they have to do is approve things.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, I always try to work with folks too, because usually we take, for a website, let's say, we take half up front and then, a quarter and then a quarter in the payments. And then sometimes what I'll do is, I kind of started this during COVID, but, I take half up front and then take the rest over several months.
Yeah.
So it's not as hard.
Not a big chunk of change.
That helps a little bit.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I know. It's so funny because like I know builders, like my buddy Sam, who awesome builder, very, very busy, has a ton of jobs, but doesn't have a website, like doesn't use social, doesn't do anything. And like, he's the same way though. He's like, I know that I need to do this and I know that I have to get this stuff done, but
they're busy enough now, but they need to be forward thinking.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you might be busy today,
right?
But what happens when those jobs are done and things get slow? So you always need to be, being in networks, like we're in BNI together. Right. Actually, we're both mentors. We were talking about that earlier. And that's our role this year.
Yeah. Did you do a training or something for that?
Yes, I went.
I forgot.
Did you do your training?
I know.
So, but so that's, that's always important, being in, those kinds of networking, chapters or whatever you want to be, the Chamber of Commerce, but I think that those are really important.
Yeah. Yeah, but even that though, you're in a network, like how are you going to share your information if you don't even have a website?
That's it, Again, it goes back to what's the first thing anybody does?
Yeah, they Google it.
They Google you.
Yeah.
And it kind of doesn't even matter age, because people will say, oh, it's just the younger generation's going to Google you. No, everybody does.
Yeah.
I don't even know what we did before Google, but yeah.
Yellow Pages.
Yeah, I know.
The phone books.
I remember those days.
I remember the phone books too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's crazy to not. I feel like it's just trending that way. It's been trending that way for years. And like, it's just going to get more and more so where people like, that's all people are going to do to look stuff up is on social media or on Google.
Yeah.
And like, if you're not in those places, then I feel like you're just kind of shooting yourself in the foot because, right now, like, the well is big, right? There's a lot of water in the well right now, and there's a lot of business, and, the trades are super busy, but that well is going to shrink up. Like, that's the history, right? Shrinks and expands on a regular basis. And as that shrinks up and the water's pouring out, like, there's only going to be so much work for so many people. And it's like, the people that are going to have the upper hand aren't going to be the people that are getting the referrals or the word of mouth stuff. It's going to be the people that are easy to find
and have a brand
and have the good, referrals and the good, what's the word I'm looking for?
Reputation?
Like a reputation, like the things on Google when people leave their little reviews, like the good reviews and stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. Because if you're looking for somebody to do service for you, you want to look at those reviews. You want to see,
right.
Are people happy? Are they not happy? Because bad reviews will be put, will be put up there too.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, I got one once. I was so unhappy about it. And it was such bullshit because it wasn't even me. Like it was, they had called for a bathroom, like they wanted a vanity, and we put them in touch with one of the designers, and then the designer had emailed them, and then they never responded. And we were busy. Like, we kept going, right? Yeah. And then she wrote a bad review saying that, like, don't go to them if you want a small job because they won't even get back to you.
Wow.
So, like, I sent her a screenshot of the email that was sent, and she's like, oh, you have the wrong email address. And I'm like, well, it was a mistake then. Can you at least take down your bad review?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Bullshit. And I guess it's our own fault for not following back up.
Well, a lot of times on those, it's always really important to respond.
Yeah.
Good or bad, sentiment, that you need negative or positive sentiment in social or, on reviews or anything that's related to that. Because if you don't, even if, they're not happy with your response, you're responding and people see. Yeah. And they hear that side too.
Yep.
That, we're sorry that we had the wrong email. Please provide us with your right email. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. Or,
right.
Or something, or your phone number, whatever it is.
I think that's pretty much how I responded.
Yeah.
I gave him my personal cell phone number and was like, listen, I'm really sorry.
Exactly.
We were really busy. And it was at the time when I had lost two designers who went on maternity leave at the same time. Like,
you remember that? Yeah.
It was just mayhem, and I was like, fuck, like I forgot one. Yeah. I'm sorry, out of like 300, I forgot one, and she left a bad review.
But that's what happens.
It's
always the one. Yeah. It's not always the hundreds of times that you did an amazing job.
Right, I know.
It's the one time. Yeah.
That's why I'm such a, I Google review every, business that I use. And I always give people good reviews because, especially if I have a good experience.
Well, right. You're not going to just make it up.
Right. Because most people only review when it's negative. And I don't want to be one of those people. I make sure I positive review. I don't even think I've ever left a negative review because I know what it does to the business. Like, I'd rather reach out to the owner directly and be like, hey, this is what happened, man. I just wanted to let you know. Like, I didn't want to leave you a bad Google review, but I could have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Actually, the only time I left bad reviews for someone was this contracting company that paid us, didn't fully pay us, but I think we received like 3/4 of the payment. Job was done. And it's this huge contracting firm. And I kept sending the final invoice. Everybody was happy. Job was done. Like, there was no issues. And they just wouldn't respond. Yeah. So I sent an email to one of the project managers and I was like, listen, man, you have 24 hours to respond to me, or I'm going to take a different route. Didn't respond. So I went on LinkedIn, I went on Google, I went on Instagram, I went on Facebook, and I just blew them up with all this negative review. Like, I'm a small business. Yeah. I have a family to feed. They owe me this much money. They won't respond to me. They won't pay. 30 seconds after I left those reviews, the owner called me and was like, hey, I'm really sorry. I didn't know that this was going on. I have a meeting right now with the project manager. We'll get the check out today. Yeah. Sent the check out, and he's like, if you don't mind, he's like, I really appreciate what you did. He's like, that was the good move to do. Yeah. But if you don't mind, could you just pull those reviews down?
And you don't mind because the check's in the mail.
Yeah, right. And I told him, I'm like, I get it, man. But what am I supposed to do? You guys are this Goliath company. Like, I can't, it's not like I'm going to go after you in court. You guys will bury me. So it's all I could do. I had to pull the Karen.
Yeah. I know. Well, one of the things that I do, how we do the travel baseball.
Yeah.
And so I always, they're so good. The staff is there to me because they help me with all the stuff I'm doing. And I always make sure that I get all of their names and their boss's name. And then I write them an email to the boss, but I make sure they're all copied because I think it's important because a lot of times, people, like they're invisible.
Yeah.
You know, and they're the ones who are helping you so much.
Yeah.
So again, takes a second.
Yeah.
But to them, you know, it's really important. They can print that out. They can have it for their own, you know, portfolio, whatever.
Yeah, and the company should document that.
And
it should be in
the
their
company
employee file.
should know that their employees are doing, you know, quality work.
Yep.
You know, so even some of them went, because we've been doing it for so long. This last one, when I walked in, they're like, "Hey, Michelle, how are you?" And one year, because we're always there for my birthday, we came in from breakfast and there was these flowers, and I went, "Oh, John, thanks for the flowers." He never buys me flowers, and it was from the staff.
Oh, no way.
I was like, "Oh, you should feel really bad, John."
Yeah, you should think about this, John. They appreciate me.
What is it saying?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But again, it's just that little bit, you know, to help, because everybody wants to be acknowledged, you know, when they're doing a good job.
Yeah, and they want, I think that in businesses like that, especially like bigger companies and like, you know, the staff isn't regularly recognized unless there's an issue, right? So like those emails, I feel like just go such a long way.
Yeah.
And who doesn't like getting that email? As a boss, like you're putting out fires all day long. Like, so when you get that one email from someone's like, "Listen, like I had a really good experience and I just wanted to let you know."
I love
like,
that when I get
me
that.
too.
You know, and then I just want to take them out to lunch. Or
Yeah,
say,
right. I wanna do something,
hey
right.
guys, let's go to lunch. You guys did a bang up job. Look at this, you know.
Yeah, that stuff should be rewarded. It's just so few and far between.
Yeah,
you know?
I think people are, again, they feel they're too busy.
Yep.
And they think about it, but they don't do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I feel like I do it more than I probably even should sometimes. But
What?
send the good emails or send the good reviews.
Yeah.
You know?
I do too.
Yeah.
You and me, kiddo.
Yeah. same person. All right. Well, let's get into toolbox tips. You know, so this is the portion where you would give everybody practical advice. Before we get into this, though, if you're watching the episode, if you're watching this podcast, if you're taking something away from this, if there's any value in this for you at all, like and share. Tell your friends about it. Like us. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you're listening. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Leave us comments. We need as much engagement as possible. And, you know, we can only keep this thing going if you guys are doing that. So toolbox tips. So practical advice, you know,
Give me a call. Just have a talk. I mean, really, that's what it is. It starts with a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what it is. Like sometimes they don't even know where to start, or it seems a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
So come and have a cup of coffee. You know, we'll have a chat and we'll you know, see how we can help you.
Yeah, I love that.
That's one of the things that it's the easiest thing for anybody to do.
Yeah.
Because I can say, "Oh, well, you need this and you need this and you need this," and they're going to be like, "I got
it's too much
on my plate right now."
Yeah.
You know, and so I think it's really important to just have that one-on-one with somebody, get to know them, they get to know you, they feel comfortable, and then they can see that you can help them gradually grow.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be like, I got to do all these things all at one time.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those tasks. It just seems daunting, right?
Yeah,
like everyone thinks that
exactly.
a website's going to be $10,000.
Yeah.
We got to come up with this. We got to come up with the logo. We got to come up with the content. Yeah. Like there's all these boxes that you have to check, and it's easy to look at that whole picture and be like, I don't have the time for that.
I think that's what it is, or the budget.
Or the budget, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how and then having that conversation with you, like how you can break it down. You know, as far as what it's going to cost for each thing and like, you know, time frame. Because even if you stretch it out for a year, like that's perfectly fine. You could stretch it out for 5 years.
Doesn't matter. You're doing it.
You're doing it. Right?
That's the whole point. You're
small
doing
steps.
it. Yeah. And I think too, when people get a chance to meet with you, they get that understanding of what you're trying to do to help them, and also that feeling of, okay, I feel like I could work with this person.
Yep.
And that they get me, they understand what I need.
Yeah.
And each person is different. Each company is different. Even if you're, you know, if you're all electricians, you're all plumbers, you're all whatever, each one has their own unique thing that they want.
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, because of my network, then I always try to hook them up too.
Yep.
So, you know, oh, I think this would be good for you, or this, you know, contact this person. So you get a little bit of that too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Wait, what did you win the prize for most referrals?
I did, but I never got my certificate.
You didn't?
I was told, because I was at jury duty, but they Yeah, they told me that I did.
That was number 3.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second loser. It's messed up.
No. Second on top. That's how you have to look at it.
All right. I love that. And then, so what else would you give? What would you give for practical advice to somebody that wanted to start in your kind of business? Like, what if somebody wanted to start, a social media marketing company or like a website development company? Yeah. What kind of advice would you give them? I mean, you've been doing this for a long time and you've been successful at it. Like, what do you think was the key factors for your success and kind of starting it and keeping it going?
I think a lot of it was, just getting the right team. That's one. That's really, really important. We've got a really good, solid team. And I think, being able to figure out what service offerings you want to provide and then, try to figure out how am I going to do them well?
Yeah.
And do I have everything in place to do that well? And then how am I going to market myself?
Yeah.
Because, like with all of us, I always say we're the cobbler's children.
Yeah.
Our shoes look awful. Don't look at my shoes. And so, for that fact, you just need to think about, what do I want to convey about my company? What's my voice? You have to brand yourself.
Yeah.
So we have to do our own, marketing. We have to do our own networking.
Yeah.
So, as you know, Joe and I are very involved in that.
Yeah.
And that's what we do.
Yeah, marketing a marketing company is so difficult.
Marketing a marketing company. And it's hard to market a marketing company.
Very hard.
Because people, if I'm buying this glass over here, at this Yeti, it's tangible. You see it. Marketing, it's like, I know I need it, but how is it really going to help me and how am I going to see it?
Yeah. It's almost like you have to build videos, you have to market for other companies. It's the only way to really market yourself. Yeah. Because there's not really much you can do as far as marketing for yourself goes.
Yeah. And we're in the process of redoing our own website.
Yeah.
So, it's not just you have a website, you get it done once. We've done ours several times over the years. Yeah. As we've changed our service offerings or we've done different things or, so that's just always, being able to change, but being able to know when to change is another piece too.
Well, the thing is, like with the technology and just stuff on computers and all the marketing strategies, it's always changing, the algorithms and like all these different things. So it's like,
And Joe is our guru in that. Yeah. With all of our stats and he loves that. Yeah. Which I'm glad because
you don't have to do it. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you have good people as part of your team.
How long has your team been with you?
Joe's been with me for 11 years. And Sharon's been with me for 5, and Nikki 2. Yeah. And others, have been for many, many years that we reach out to them as we need them. So. Yeah,
the good old employment game.
Mm-hmm. So, but you just want to make sure that you never want to have people sitting on the bench either.
Yeah.
But you need to make sure you've got enough to be able to deliver.
Yeah.
That's I think. From a business perspective, that's always you were asking me about things that are difficult. That's always a challenge.
That balance?
Yeah, of making sure that, because you want to grow.
Right.
As I said before, you don't want to grow so fast.
Right.
That you forget those first people or that you're not delivering to the current ones.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so hard. That balance is tough because that balance changes. There's so many things that change that balance. So it's like, it's tough.
Well, and everybody has personal life too.
Right.
And things that happen in your life. And so you have to factor that in. And it's not just you as the business owner, it's your staff.
Yep.
So you need to be flexible, you need to be understanding, those kinds of things too.
Yeah.
That's a mama. That's the mothership.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's hard to be understanding all the time and not get taken advantage of or it's like drawing that line is like another balance. It's
lots
tough.
of lines, lots of boundaries, lots of
boundaries. I know. We wear a lot of hats as business owners for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that's about it, Shelly.
Okay.
I appreciate you coming on. I think that was fun.
Yeah, that's great.
And I think that talking about this stuff and kind of getting it out there is going to help some of these guys and know and understand the importance of it.
Happy to have a cup of coffee. The guys that you've brought by my office, I haven't heard back from them, so have them give me a ring.
Yeah. Trades guys, can be tough.
Yeah.
But All right, cool. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And thanks for listening, everybody.